Give somebody a high five and say, God is here. And tell your neighbor, this is a place of fun. Tell your neighbor, show me some energy. One more time, put your hands together. Let's celebrate. Please, you may have your seat. Have your seat. It's good to be here. It's Democracy Day, and it's a public holiday. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or something, I've just been, posting stuff, tweeting. This is where I've been. This is where I've been. This is my 4th event today. Yeah. It's my 4th event today. It's the 4th time that I'm speaking today. It's a good way to spend Democracy Day. From speaking to men in the morning, entrepreneurs at Tech Point Inspired, app launching at a hotel and different things. But out of all the places I've been today, this is the one that excites me the most. Yeah. I'm always very excited to be with singles, to be with young people where there's a lot of energy. Yeah, and that's why we can come like this. All the places I've gone, you cackle. But we can show up here, because it's just a free place. And so my talk tonight, I believe that God will use it to inspire someone. I believe that God will use it to give someone a head start to live in a particular way. I believe that God will use it to sow a seed into someone's heart, a seed that will grow and grow into a beautiful life. Because a beautiful life is a connected life. We're not created for isolation, we're created for connection. Yeah. So every human being is like a cell phone. If you have a cell phone and the SIM card cannot pick signal from any network, it's not a phone. Am I saying the truth? Yeah. And there's a way you can run your life, there's a way you can live your life that you're beginning to lose signal, the capacity to connect. Yeah. So it's like when you're carrying your phone, like this on the hill, maybe you went to your village, no signal, and you're just carrying. That's the way some people's lives are becoming right now. It's becoming very difficult for you to pick signal and connect. And life is only very interesting when you can maximize life by making it a well-connected life, because that's where the beauty comes from. Nobody enjoys life in isolation. And the single life is a time where you're looking for meaningful connections. Not anyhow connections, but meaningful connections, because you have a whole life ahead of you and you want to live it well. So you're looking for meaningful connections. I'm getting close to mid-40s now, and so I'm this is about the time they say people go through midlife crisis. Because I'm like half time. I want to live to be maybe just about 90 and above, and I'll go. I'm okay. So I'm like half time. See, at the time that I am right now, I'm trying to maximize my connections. That's what I'm trying to do. I know people. I have vital connections. One time I was trying to brag to my wife just to show that when it comes to relationship, that I'm better. So I asked her, I said, since you married me, 14 years now, this year, since you married me, have we ever traveled to any city in the world and there's nobody to pick us from the airport? Because I just know people. Yeah. I just know people, and they just sought me out. Yeah. And I was in the UK, I think in February, and I was on a retreat in a bush, like countryside, outside of London. And I met a young lady one of the nights, after there's a place where you could have dinner with other people on the retreat. And, I just went into that place, dinner time, and this lady sat beside me. And I just felt, maybe I should chat her up. And we started to chat. And we started to talk about meaningful connections in life. And I told her, I said, obviously she was going through a state in her life. That was why she came on a retreat. I told her, I said, I've enjoyed meaningful connections. I said, my life is beautiful because of the people I know. I said, people have been a blessing to me. Not everybody that I know, but most people. And she looked like, are you really serious? But my own life has not been like that, that kind of thing. So when I saw that gotten her attention, I started to, like the boasting that I did to my wife, I started to boast to her. I said, I came into the UK like 3 days ago. Somebody sent somebody to pick me from the airport. It's because I know people. I said, I will leave this place another 3 days. How I'm going to get out of there is already sorted. Yet I'm not going to see anybody. I didn't see one soul that I knew on that trip. It was just a 5 or 6 days retreat, and that was all. But yet everything that I needed to do was done. In fact, the retreat center that I went, Pastor T will bear witness, someone sorted everything out. Did everything. How can you make your life that purposeful, that impactful, that seemingly beautiful, and it's based on meaningful connections? Some of you listening to me tonight, you are even tired of connections because you are not maximizing it. So you are around the table tonight, sitting with people, and it looks like we have to pay you money to talk to them. But you don't know what you are missing. You don't know what you are losing out on if you don't make your life a well-connected life. And like I said, it's the days of singlehood is where you start to build those connections. Some people are in miserable marriages today because they didn't spend their single days well connecting with the right people. Because you need a support system when you get into marriage. It's too late to build it in marriage. Is somebody still with me today? You need people who have known you, who know your proclivities, who know your weaknesses. And you can depend on them, they can depend on you. The reason why I'm talking about this so passionately is because I know what has worked for me. I know what has worked for me. See, you can't marry everybody. So this thing about except somebody looks like somebody I can marry, I can't connect with them, you're just deceiving yourself. It's not about marriage. Somebody has your money. That until you do business with them, you won't prosper. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Yeah. Somebody holds the door that you need to walk through to get to your next level. And can I layer this on top of that? It's that you will mess up any relationship, including marriage, if you don't have relational skills. Now, relational skills is very tricky. It doesn't jump on people. You have to build it by relating. It's just like, driving a car. They can give you all the theory of driving a car. Until you jump into a car to drive, you are not driving. Am I saying the truth? Yeah. And you have to drive for some time before you know I can drive. Many people are keeping away from relationships, from friendships, from connecting with people, and yet they are saying they're preparing for a whole lifetime of relationship, which is marriage. How do you want to master things if that's how you behave? Many of us are too fixated on, who am I going to marry? Who is going to marry me? So anytime we talk relationship, the only thing you think about is, who will marry me? Are you following me tonight? Yeah. So you need to be able to build relational skills, and it won't jump on you. It's by loosening up, connecting with people, keeping your eyes open. People who annoy you, people who, make you laugh and all that. But when you are having, you see, let me break this down a little bit. I have a lot of things to speak on, but just 30 minutes, that's how much I have. So just follow me very quick. That's why I'm saying a lot of things, bam, bam, bam. So just follow me. Now, you need to understand this, that if you are here tonight and you are a follower of Jesus, that you have given your life to Jesus, or even if you have not, physical maturity, emotional maturity, and spiritual maturity are proven by relationships. Yeah. You cannot prove to me that you are a mature man until you are found in a relational situation and you behave yourself. Are you still with me? Yeah. Neither can you prove to me that you are emotionally mature until you are found in a quagmire of relational misfortune, if I can use that word, and you came out unscathed. That's what can prove to me that you are emotionally mature. In the same vein, people think that spiritual maturity is about how many scriptures you know, or how loud or designer, the designer tongues that you speak. Some people speak in tongues, but their own it's as if they have patented it. When they say eshka, you think, it's a special type. Some people think that's what shows that you are a spiritual juggernaut, as it were. Those things are good. You need to seek to be baptized in the Holy Spirit. You need to know the scriptures and all that. But those are not pointers to spiritual maturity. The real pointers to spiritual maturity is the development of the fruits of the Spirit. Joy, love, peace, gentleness, patience, self-control. When all that is out, Galatians 5 and 22, you see all that there. When all that is out, and you can quote scripture, but before somebody says one, you have said 10. You are not mature. Yeah. You can finish praying for 1 hour, and somebody drives in a rough way on the road, and you came down from your car, and you gave the person a dirty slap. You're not mature. You are neither mature spiritually, nor are you mature emotionally, or even in the things of the physical. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying tonight. I haven't said all this, which point I'm trying to underscore is the need for you to value connections. To value connections. And the right connections. Because you need to know that every human being you see, we all carry mathematical signs on our forehead. Some people, when you see them, minus, that's what is there. When you connect with them, they will take something from you. They will minus you. Some of that people is division sign. When you connect with them, they will divide you. Yeah. But some people carry addition signs. Some people carry multiplication signs. When you connect with them, your life starts to multiply. When you connect with them, good things are added to you. From front, left, right, center, everything adding to you. That's how some people are. It's your responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize what signs are on the foreheads of the people that you are meeting. Now, I have about 16 more minutes, halfway through my talk. Let me change the gear. Purpose. When you talk purpose, many people feel like what we're talking about is, I have to go to the mountain and sit there for like 2 weeks without food, maybe only water, and I say, God, speak to me. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? Purpose. And all that. You pray, you do all that. Maybe that can lead to it. But when you check through the scriptures, I know you guys if you're a good Christian, you go to church regularly, so you've heard a lot of scriptures. So what I want to do tonight is to make my talk scriptural, but yet very contemporary, so you can grasp and run with me very fast. And I won't have to be opening scriptures too much. When you read through the story, for instance, the story of Joseph, for instance. Joseph, as a teenager, had a dream. He himself couldn't really understand the dream. Does that mean I'm going to be great, and all that? That was just what his dream, looked like. But when you read to the end of the story of his life, you realize that the main thing about him was that God was going to use him to preserve a generation. The whole of the race, Israel, Jews, because a famine was going to come that will inadvertently wipe them out, except they have that social safety net that Joseph will go and create in Egypt. Now, look at how his life unfolded. From being a slave, a servant in Potiphar's house, to getting into prison, and all that. The one thing that was a recurrent decima in his life was that he was alive to himself, to his strengths and weaknesses, to his passion and his giftings. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot discover purpose or walk into purpose except you are alive to yourself, you know yourself, you know your passions, you know your giftings, and you are deploying them. Literally speaking, you know your shape. By saying you know your shape, I'm talking about the acronym SHAPE. S standing for your spiritual gift, H standing for your heart, which is the core of you, the seat of your passion. Yeah? I hope you're still following me. I said, I hope you're still following me. Yeah. So you need to know your shape. You need to know how you are wired. Yeah. You need to know how you are wired. You need to know what are the important things about yourself. What are the potentials that you have? What are the life experiences that you have? Or the things you have gone through in life? How have they shaped you? Those are the things that you need to reckon with and understand that God wants to do something with everything that you have been through so that He can take you to where you are going. Joseph just followed, deploying his gift, focusing on his passion. All of a sudden, he walked into his purpose. Now, you need to understand one thing, and that's that. There's a connection between your passion, your gift, your personality, and all those things, and your purpose. In Jeremiah chapter 1, verse number 5, God said, speaking to Jeremiah, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you and I ordained you. In Jeremiah's case, he said, I ordained you to be a prophet. That means that purpose predates form or shape. Can I say that one more time? I said purpose predates form. It predates shape. It predates my personality. It predates my passion and my gift. Before I formed you, I knew you and I ordained you. It's the same thing God is saying to you. James, Anita, Ekaite, Emeka, before I formed you, I knew you and I purposed you or ordained you. That means that my shape, my wiring, my makeup, from temperament to personality to giftings to areas of interest to the experiences that I've gone through in life, everything, they are all working to push me in line with purpose. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying tonight. Yeah. Everything will work to push me in line with purpose. That's how it works with God. Now, let me connect it a little further. We're talking purpose, money, and sex. I'm going to land on sex. I know you're expecting me. Wait for me. Wait for me. Wait for me. Now, money flows in the direction of value. Where is value coming from? Value comes from my makeup, which is connected to my purpose. In the case of Joseph, Joseph built himself out and got into Pharaoh's palace through his gift. There's something that you have that you need to discover. Yeah. We live in a nation today where, I thank God for Nigeria, we celebrate gifts. I mean, almost all the gifts that have been talked under the table before, they're now finding platforms and expression. And also thank God for social media. I was at one of our pastors' 40th birthday yesterday, and this young man, Arole, and he came to me and he was trying to chat me up and all that. It's like a prodigy. You know that chap, the comedian, that's always on Instagram and swearing over people's life. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, see, this guy got his current break through Instagram. How old is Instagram? Maybe 5 years or so? Less than that. So, you see how God works. There are many things that are coming up now, helping us to unearth our gift and creating platforms for us like never before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best time to be alive. I don't envy my parents. Yeah. You can become an international sensation without 1 naira in your account if you know the right things to do. In the days of my parents, in the 80s when I was in secondary school, and we used to look at our uncles. Okay, let me give you an example. In the days of Abacha, Babangida, to take over government, they had to take over NTA headquarters so that they can broadcast to the whole of Nigeria that they are now in power. If you want to take over power today, you can do it on Facebook. And and you will reach everybody in the world, not just people in Nigeria. Has it occurred to you? Things have changed. I'm only wasting the change if I refuse to deploy my passions, my gifts, my interests, and celebrate it and push it. That's where my money is. Am I speaking to somebody today? Money flows in the direction of value. The value that I have to offer are the things that God has already wired into me. God told Jeremiah, you're a prophet. If you do any other thing, it's not going to work maximally. You cannot maximize life except you fall in line with my original intention. Because you did not create yourself. Even if you are here tonight, you're an agnostic or you're an atheist, forget it. Did you determine the day that you will be born? Somebody determined the day that you will be born. Somebody determined the people that will give birth to you. Nobody here is an accident of procreation. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That's what should make people think that whoever is deciding all these things must have a plan. That plan, that original intention is what we call purpose. So, purpose is not my design, it's my discovery. Somebody decided it, I need to discover it. And I'm telling you that how to discover it is to look within and make the right connections between my passion, my gift, my temperament, my everything, because purpose predates form. And real money and open doors, all those things are in my area, my purpose. Doors open of their own accord when you step into the center of God's will for your life. Doors start to open for you. Look at this guy in the Bible, Moses. Moses was very passionate about the Jews. That was why in his early days, he saw an Egyptian handling a Jewish guy. He went after the Egyptian, and before you know it, he broke the neck of the guy. The passion was too much. It was oozing through his body. Though he was living in Pharaoh's palace, but he happened to be a Jew. So whenever he saw any form of oppression, that thing was there. Now, he had to run away because of what he did. 40 years later, he had a burning bush experience. I pray tonight that somebody here, you will have a burning bush experience before this year is over. This guy had a burning bush experience. You know what burning bush experiences do? They reawaken your consciousness to God's original intention. This guy had a burning bush experience, saw the bush burning, and the bush was not consumed. God got his attention, and God said, you know what? From day one, I put the passion there. So you go back. It was just that it was premature that time. But now is the appointed time. So you go back now, and when you get there, when you speak, it will happen. When you walk, doors will open to you. You understand? Because of him, he will say things. Plague will come upon the whole country. Because he was in the center of God's will for his life. When you are in the center of God's will for your life, fulfilling your purpose, does that mean that you're not going to confront opposition? No. You're going to see oppositions. But God will defeat oppositions for you. Money is called provision. Right? Provision. What is meant for the vision? When you get a vision from God, you cannot be poor. Because provision will come from the one who gives it. So you see the connection between money and purpose? Now, let's put the last thing in the mix. The S. The sex. In the midst of everything I've spoken about today, you can quote me anywhere. If you are not married, sex is a distraction in the mix. It's a distraction in the midst of everything that I've said. Because it is the highest expression of human emotion between two people. When God said, don't get into sex before marriage, it wasn't because he didn't want you to have fun. You think God is wicked? No, you see a number of people who said no. There are many people here who have said, this God of Christianity is a wicked God. Doesn't like for people to have fun. Yeah. Especially when you've probably had an experience before. And then you now came into a church and he said, or you read a book or somebody was trying to preach to you and he said, no, you have to stop having sex. And you say, what kind of... I was speaking to a young lady once while I was still pastoring at Daystar, and trying to encourage her after she has given her life to Christ. We now got to this area of sex, and I said, if you really want to be a serious believer, a fully devoted follower of Jesus Christ, you have to abstain. I said, Pastor, is that really possible? No, she was being sincere. Is that really possible? I said, yes, it is possible. And I told her that, see, I've lived without sex. Then I wasn't married till this time for this many years. And I'm still alive and well with blood flowing. Because sex is not food. It is not air that you breathe. Neither is it water. Those are the things you need for survival. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Sex is not a physiological need for survival. No. The mistake that some of us are making is that the devil has sold a lie to us that without making up and making, and doing all stuff, you won't be okay. In fact, if you are here tonight and you've bought into that, there's a possibility that you are already in mild addiction, sexual addiction. Most addicts believe, you see, before you can be addicted to something, you have to believe that your life depends on it. Yeah. You have to believe that your life depends on it. I wrote a book, Sexuality Get a Grip, for singles. If you can pick a copy, pick it before you go tonight. Chapter 3 or so, I dealt with sexual addiction. In the chapter, I dealt with masturbation. Another chapter, I dealt with pornography. Because these are the things that we are contending with. If you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you know how much distraction comes into your emotion and your mind that you're supposed to use to think and create a pathway for yourself in destiny that you will need to use to concoct how to seduce somebody, how to corner them, how to do this. Do you know how much of time and mind space that it takes just because of 5 minutes sex? That's what I'm talking about. It's a huge distraction. Huge one. Huge one. Huge distraction. In fact, you won't know how distracted you are until you start to track your life and think about how much time you spend. If anyone is here tonight, and I'm going to pray for you, maybe addicted to masturbation or pornography, my time is up, right? All right. Let me just, we'll talk more during the Q&A, but I want to read something here just to help somebody to understand what I'm talking about. Let me read something quickly, just 2 minutes, and I'll let go. Somebody say with me tonight. Sex is about chemicals. Chemistry, that's what we call attraction. Am I saying the truth? When you say there's chemistry between us. Have you thought about the word chemistry before? That you are describing chemical. Yeah. Hormones. The flow, the aggravated flow of blood to our genitalias. That's what we call arousal. Can we get down to this thing tonight? My time is up. When we get here, we will do some business. What we call arousal is chemical reactions. All of us, we are bundles of chemicals. And some things trigger those chemicals. To be emotionally mature and physically mature and spiritually mature is to be able to control the chemical reactions that go on in your body. You know, one thing, there are about 5 different types of addiction. Satiation addiction, all that. Sex, the dangerous thing about sex is that it's applicable or it shows up in all the different kinds, arousal addiction, satiation addiction, fantasy addiction, deprivation addiction. This is chapter 2 in this book. Sex shows up in all the different kind of addictions. That's how powerful sex is. Some people don't know that if you are sexually addicted, if you are going through sexual addiction, sometimes you are worse than somebody on cocaine. Yeah. Because the same way the cocaine addict spends money is how you are going to spend money. The same way they will live. Can you imagine somebody who is addicted to masturbation and you have to masturbate before you go to bed, or you are in a meeting, an important meeting, and something just triggers your body and you're looking at somebody looking, until you have to go out to the washroom to masturbate before your body can calm down and you continue the meeting. Is that a sane person? That's what I'm talking about. Because we'll be deceiving ourselves if we just, there are serious implications to lack of self-control in the area of sex. Why is the devil throwing it in the mix? Is to distort purpose. Is to distort a sense of mission. Is to distort our sense of relationship with God. Because the moment you become carefree about sex, you become carefree about many other things. And it starts to affect the effectiveness of your relationship with God. That's where the devil is going, actually. to make you to start to feel like you don't qualify for certain things from God. So, when you put inordinate sex in the mix, you lose your self-esteem, especially as per your relationship with God. And it will start to affect what you can hope for, what you can trust God for, and how you can engage the power of God to fulfill your destiny. So, there's an original intention. He has a plan. But you are hooked on something here that is holding down his hand so that he cannot move you towards his plan. You want to maximize destiny? Make up your mind that you are going to wait. Like I said the last time we were here at SALT, I said anybody who tells you that if you really love me, let's get down to business. Ask them whether they love their mother. And when was the last time they slept with her? To show their love. If truly sex and love are the same. I have 3 sisters. I love them. The same father, the same mother. I've never slept with them. So what kind of love are you talking about? It's not love, it's lust. And it's high time that we'll package it very well and call a spade a spade. That's why somebody will tell you they love you today, and after we started doing it, one day they will say we are not meant for each other. Yeah. Because they know that this thing is not really love. If you love somebody, you need to be able to, you will receive grace to wait for that person. Yeah, you will receive grace. How many of you have seen my wife before? You know that God created her on Democracy Day, public holiday. Yeah. When it was not doing much. It's just 1 or 2 people. Because it was a public holiday. I dated that beautiful lady for about 3 years before we got married. And I did not sleep with her. If I can do it, you can do it. Yeah. You think my body was not moving? It was moving. As in, not small movement, oh. No, have you seen my wife before? She's hot. Indiana, should we go into question and answer? I pray later? Because I actually really want to pray for some people. Yeah. Huh? We should pray now. Okay. I'll do my best to show up as much as my schedule will permit me every time SALT happens. So, what I'm going to do, like I told you the last time, is that I'm just going to continue from wherever I stop, notwithstanding what they call the program. I will try to, because there are so many things in my heart, but there's work tomorrow. So I don't want to keep you unnecessarily. But at this material point in time, when I was coming here today, God told me, and I'm saying this under God, God told me that some people will be here today who need prayer. 1, to start to discover purpose and become mission-minded. Secondly, to deal with the distraction that sex will put in the midst, in the mix. And I also believe that some people listening to me right now, you need to come to terms with the fact that you are struggling with addiction. Time will not permit me. If you can get this book, get it. I think they're still going to give out like 10 copies after now. Some people who answer some questions. So answer it well. If you don't have money, they'll give you for free. But if you have money, it's not expensive. Sexuality Get a Grip, maybe 1K or so. And if the resource people can even slash down the price to be okay, I give you the right to reduce it, maybe 20% or something. Just cut it down. Let them buy. You understand? Because it's not about the money. It's about the knowledge. It's about the knowledge. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. You need to discover where you are. If you are addicted as I speak now, the earlier you come to terms that I'm dealing with addiction. Yeah. If you are in a relationship as I speak right now, and anytime the two of you are thinking of sin, there's no way that what is going on in your mind will not be, we will get there. And then you just realize that, from touching, you just scatter everything. You just like you are possessed. Both of you just possess yourself. All those kind of. If that is where you are right now, you need to see. I'm not condemning you. You have real emotions, real feelings. All you need to do is to be able to accept that there's a problem and we need help. Can I say this to you before I stop and pray? The fact that you are making out and struggling, and then you feel a bit of condemnation. Some people haven't gone beyond condemnation. They just feel like maybe this is how this relationship is going to be. The only thing is that let's just be careful that we don't get pregnant. Let's just continue, because they are enjoying it and they are looking forward to it. If you are in that kind of level right now, don't allow the devil to deceive you. Let me tell you what happens when you are at that level. If you ever get married, that marriage will be very miserable. The time you have now is to cultivate relational skills. Instead of cultivating relational skills, you are using it to do sex. In marriage, you have years to do sex. I've been sleeping with my wife now 14 years. And I'm going to keep enjoying it for the next how many years? I'm just telling you to know that when you wait, it's better. And you see, we respect each other so much because we did not, do anything to pollute our consciences before we got married. See, my wife can go anywhere in the world today. I'm not bothered. She used to work in the bank, right? And do business everywhere, go on training abroad. Never bothered because I dated her for about 3 years and we didn't sleep together. Look at it. It's common sense. If she could hold herself that long, despite the fact that she's also attracted to me, and I'm attracted to her, and we tell ourselves all the time, as the way I'm looking at you right now, if you don't go to your house, that was how we used to operate because I was very open. Some days my wife will call me on the phone and say, I want to come. Don't come. I'm on it. Yeah, it's not a good day to come. That's how you have to be open. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Because you are flesh and blood. You see, the reason why some of us are in trouble is because we underestimate our flesh. And I'm saying the only way to come out is for you to come to terms with the fact that you are in trouble. You are wasting time. You are polluting the water of life. You are wasting the time you are supposed to invest into developing relational skills, getting to know each other. You are wasting it. That's why some people will start fighting from honeymoon day till I've counseled couples, in the last 5 years, terrible things have happened. 6 months of marriage, broken. I can count like 5 in my hand. And there are people who are supposed to be sensible from good homes and all that. But while they were supposed to be developing relational skills to be able to live with each other, they were busy doing sex. Yeah. I want to pray. Glory be to Jesus. Can I ask that we all stand? Let's stand in honor of God. Stand in honor of God. Stand in honor of God. Father, we thank you. Lift your 2 hands to him. If you can, I want you to close your eyes. It's prayer. And prayer is engaging God for divine assistance. And if you reckon with the fact that God is here, then I need you to just submit your heart to him. Just submit your heart to him. He's the only one that can help us. God cannot hate. So notwithstanding what you have done, he doesn't hate you. He doesn't have the capacity to hate anybody. He's a God of love. He knows where you have been. All he wants is come back home and receive grace. So don't condemn yourself. A woman was caught in adultery. They said Jesus should condemn her. Jesus said, whoever has never done this before, cast the first stone. Nobody was able to do it. He said, woman, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. That's what I say to everyone here tonight who may have been transgressing. Neither do I condemn you. Neither do God condemn you. But you leave this place tonight and engage his help so you can go and sin no more. So you can go and... Can you just talk to him? Talk to him. Talk to him. I don't know where you are, but talk to him. If you've been okay, tell him, Lord, I just want to remain okay, so help me to remain okay. If you need to straighten up, tell him, Lord, I want to straighten up. And I'm saying it with seriousness in my heart. I want to straighten up. I want to straighten up. I want to straighten up. Say it with seriousness in your heart. I want to straighten up. As much as possible, I want us to reduce movement. This is not the time to go, especially if you're serious about what we came here to do, except you came for a show. But if you came here knowing that you're going to change, something is going to happen in your life, but this is time to stay and partake of the prayer. If anything is distracting you, this is time to say, no, I came here to engage God. I know it's a garden of like-minded people and it's for fun, but we also need to engage. Yeah, so as much as possible, except there's an emergency, I want you to remain seated. Lift your two hands to him. Tell him, Lord, I receive your help tonight. I receive your grace tonight. I open up my heart to you. No more condemnation in my heart. I know that you have not condemned me. I know that you still love me. You still love me despite where I've been. You still love me despite what I've done. You are a good, good father. And I'm loved by you. And tonight I receive grace. I receive grace to live my life for you. I receive grace to live my life for you. I receive grace to walk the path of purpose. I receive grace to create wealth and be a man of means, a woman of means. And I don't want anything to stand in the mix. In one breath of prayer, I wanted to also tell God tonight, Lord, I want to engage you for purpose. I want you to help me to walk into my purpose. Help me to see, to discover, to realize my gifts, my areas of passion, the things that interest me. Help me to align myself. Guide my steps. Guide my steps into the fullness of it. I want to walk with you. I want to walk with you. I want to walk with you. I want to walk with you into purpose. I want to walk with you into purpose. For everyone or anyone who may be saying, Pastor, I want to engage God for purpose. I want God to put grace upon me to start to discover my purpose and to walk into it. Can you put your right hand on your head? I want to pray for you right now. I want to discover purpose. I want to walk into purpose. I want to speak a blessing over you tonight. Somebody who is still second guessing. But I just want to have a burning bush experience. Or just like Joseph, I want God to just help me to deploy my gifts so that all of a sudden I know I'm going to walk into the fullness of my purpose. Lord, in the name of Jesus, I pray for everyone desiring that you touch them tonight for them to walk into purpose. I speak a blessing over them, and I ask tonight that you guide their steps. Help them to discover purpose. Help them to deploy their gifts. Put your blessing on them. The same grace that I've enjoyed with you to discover myself from season to season, such that I've never been stranded in life. I speak that grace upon each and every one of them. You will no longer be stranded in your journey of destiny. In the name of the Lord Jesus, anything that is interfering between you and your steps into purpose, I speak against them tonight. And I declare that my God orders your steps into purpose. in the precious name of the Lord Jesus.